Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're a pensioner, a government employee nearing retirement, or simply someone curious about your financial future, you'll want to pay very close attention to today's news. Because today, we are diving deep into an incredibly important update that could impact the lives of hundreds of thousands of South Africans. The latest GEPF pension increase has just been officially revealed, and it's bringing a wave of new changes, new payouts, and yes, some major financial relief to our retirees. Now, the GEPF, or the Government Employees Pension Fund, as you probably know, is the largest pension fund in Africa and one of the largest in the world. It's responsible for managing the pensions of government workers, everyone from teachers and nurses to police officers and civil servants who have dedicated their lives to building and serving South Africa. These are people who have given decades of hard work, and so, every change in their pension payouts is not just an announcement, it's a major event that affects households, communities, and the economy as a whole. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the new pension hike. We'll look at how much the payouts are increasing by, when the new payments will be reflected in your bank account, who qualifies for the hike, and what it really means for your standard of living in 2025 and beyond. Plus, stick around until the end, because I'll also share some important tips on how to maximize your pension benefits moving forward, based on the latest expert advice. So, first things first, the GEPF has officially announced a new pension increase of 5.4%. That's right, a 5.4% hike, aimed at helping retirees keep pace with the rising cost of living. Now, let's be real here. Inflation has been a massive issue not only in South Africa but globally. Prices for essentials like groceries, electricity, and transportation have been climbing steadily, and many pensioners have been feeling the squeeze. This pension hike comes as a direct response to that, offering some breathing room for retirees who have been stretched thin. What does a 5.4% increase actually look like in practical terms? Well, let's break it down with a simple example. Suppose you were receiving a monthly pension of R10,000. With a 5.4% increase, your pension would now rise by R540, bringing your new monthly payout to R10,540. It might sound modest at first glance, but when you consider that it adds up to an extra R6,480 over the course of a year, it becomes clear that this is real, meaningful money that can cover additional groceries, medical bills, or even a few small luxuries that retirees have long deserved. And for those on higher pensions, say, R15,000 or R20,000 a month, the extra cash becomes even more substantial. Imagine an extra R10,800 to R12,960 a year landing in your account. For many, it's not just about survival anymore, it's about living with dignity, comfort, and even a little bit of joy after decades of hard work. Well, according to the announcement, the increase will be granted to all pensioners who were receiving a pension as of April 1, 2025. So if you were already retired and drawing from the GEPF by that date, you're in luck, the increase will apply automatically. You don't need to fill out any forms, submit any applications, or jump through any bureaucratic hoops. The GEPF will simply adjust your payment behind the scenes, and the new amount will reflect directly in your May 2025 payout. Hassle-free. Exactly the way it should be. And what about those retirees who have sadly passed away? Well, here's some heartwarming news. The GEPF also confirmed that beneficiaries receiving spousal pensions or child pensions will see the same 5.4% increase applied to their payments. This ensures that widows, widowers, and dependent children are also not left behind. It's a small but critical gesture of fairness and compassion that recognizes the long-term promises made to government employees and their families. Now, some of you might be wondering, is a 5.4% increase really enough? After all, when we look at the latest consumer price index, we know that the cost of living has risen even more steeply in some sectors. Food inflation alone has sometimes topped 7% or even 8% depending on the product. So is this increase truly keeping pace? The GEPF addressed this concern directly during their announcement. They explained that the 5.4% figure was carefully calculated based on the fund's financial health, investment returns, and long-term sustainability. It's a balancing act, offering meaningful increases today while protecting the fund's ability to pay pensions 10, 20, or even 30 years into the future. Because remember, the GEPF isn't just serving today's retirees. It's also safeguarding the retirement futures of current government employees who may not retire for decades yet. In short, while some may have hoped for an even bigger increase, the 5.4% hike represents a careful compromise, a responsible move that provides real help today while ensuring that the fund remains strong, resilient, and capable of meeting all its promises long into the future. Now, let's talk about how the GEPF is funding this increase. This is important because a pension fund's strength relies heavily on smart management and investment strategy. The GEPF is unique in that it doesn't rely solely on contributions from employees and the government. Instead, it invests those contributions across a diversified portfolio of assets, including equities, bonds, property, and infrastructure projects, both in South Africa and globally. As of their last reports, the GEPF had well over 2 trillion in assets under management. Yes, that's trillion, with a T. And despite global economic turbulence, the fund's diversified approach has continued to deliver solid returns, providing the financial muscle needed to support increases like the one we're discussing today. This, of course, brings us to another very important point: trust. Trust in the system. Many retirees have expressed concerns in recent years about the stability of pension systems worldwide. We've seen horror stories from other countries where mismanagement, corruption, or reckless investment strategies have led to pension cuts and heartbreak. But in South Africa, the GEPF has maintained a strong reputation for prudent management, transparency, and financial discipline. And this latest increase is another clear signal that the fund remains committed to its retirees. Now, let's take a moment to talk about the practical side. When will you actually see the new amount hit your bank account? According to the GEPF, pensioners can expect the new, increased payment starting from the end of May 2025. So the May pension payout will be the first one that reflects the 5.4% boost. That means if you're used to getting your pension on the last day of the month or thereabouts, keep an eye on your account and maybe make a little plan to celebrate when you see that slightly bigger number. And if you're wondering whether you need to call the GEPF or visit a regional office to confirm the new amount, the answer is no. The process is automatic. However, if you want to double-check or get an official statement reflecting your new pension amount, you can always log into the GEPF self-service portal online or contact the call center. Many retirees have already been encouraged to create online profiles to manage their pension information more easily and securely. Now, let's shift gears slightly. I promised at the beginning of this video that I'd share some important tips on how to make the most of your pension increase. And here they are. First, consider setting up a small automatic savings plan. Even if it's just a 200 or a 300 a month, putting away a portion of your increased pension into a high-interest savings account or a secure investment product can help build a safety net over time. This can be especially useful for unexpected medical expenses or for treating yourself to something special in the future. Second, take the time to review your budget. With the extra money coming in, it's a great opportunity to reassess your monthly expenses and perhaps allocate a little more towards healthcare, nutrition, or other quality of life improvements. Maybe you've been putting off a dental procedure, new eyeglasses, or even a small home improvement project. Now might be the right time. Third, be wary of scams. Sadly, fraudsters often target pensioners, especially when new money is involved. Be extremely cautious of any unsolicited calls, emails, or SMS messages claiming to offer you special investment opportunities or asking for your banking details. Remember, the GEPF will never ask you for sensitive information over the phone. If in doubt, hang up and call the GEPF directly using their official contact numbers. And finally, talk to a professional. If you have questions about how best to manage your increased pension income, don't hesitate to consult a registered financial advisor. A good advisor can help you develop a plan that meets your personal goals and protects your financial security for years to come. Alright folks, that brings us to the end of today's very important update. The 5.4% GEPF pension hike is a real, meaningful step towards supporting our nation's retirees at a time when financial pressures are intense. It's not just about the numbers, it's about dignity, respect, and ensuring that those who have built our country through decades of public service can retire in comfort and security. If you found this video helpful, please smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with your friends and family, especially if they're GEPF pensioners who need to hear this news. Let's get the word out. And as always, leave a comment below. What do you think about the 5.4% increase? Is it enough? What would you like to see from the GEPF in the future? I read every single comment, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care and stay financially strong.